So I will be talking about the respiratory physiology and the 7 terms that come along with it. So tidal volume is the amount of air that can be moved in and out of each lung with each normal breath. Inspiratory reserve volume is the amount of air that can be inhaled above and beyond tidal volume, and expiratory reserve volume is the amount of air that can be exhaled above and beyond tidal volume. Total lung capacity is the amount of air that can be contained in the lungs. Residual volume is the amount of air left in the lungs after a forceful expiration. Inspiratory capacity is the maximum amount of air that can be inhaled, and vital capacity is the amount of air that can be forcefully expelled after complete inhalation.
Okay, so here is the nasal cavity. So starting from the nose, you have the external nares, and then as you enter the nose, you have the inferior, middle, and superior concha, and then you have the inferior, middle, superior meatuses, and then as you're going down, you hit the internal nares, and then right by the internal nares is the pharyngeal tonsils, and then as you're going down the pharynx, you have the nasopharynx, the oropharynx, and the laryngopharynx, and then right here is the palatine tonsils. And then this is the hard palate, and this is the soft palate.
So here we have the liver, and the liver produces bile, but the bile is stored in the gallbladder. And so right here is the gallbladder, and it goes into the cystic duct, which goes into the common hepatic, and then that branches off into the right and left hepatic, and then right down here is the common bile duct.
Kenadee, Gallivan, and I'll be talking about the intestines. So from the stomach, it goes to the small intestine, which starts with the duodenum, which is the smallest part. That's where all the bile and the cecum comes in. Then it goes to the duodenum, which is like the longer part in the middle, and then it goes to the ileum, which is the lower half of the small intestine. Then from the small intestine, it goes into the large intestine through the ileocecal valve, and it goes into the cecum area. Then from the cecum, it goes into the ascending intestine to the hepatic flexure up here, and then it goes to the transverse colon, or the transverse intestine, and then it goes, this is the splenic flexure, and then down it goes into the descending. So yeah.
So the oral cavity is where the digestion process starts when food is ingested. So you have teeth, which help the mechanical digestion of food, and your uvula protects the food from going up into your nasopharynx. Your tongue helps move the food around in your mouth, and this is where some enzymes are secreted to start the chemical digestion process. And this is the sagittal view of it, and you have the tongue. Also, you have the epiglottis, which keeps food from going down the trachea. And you also have teeth, which are covered in this stuff called enamel, which is the hardest biological substance on Earth. And the teeth help with the mechanical digestion of food. And the teeth have 3 parts with the molars: the crown, the neck, and the root. And they're filled with a pulp cavity that has blood vessels and nerves.
Go.
I'm Tayler, and this is the model of the larynx. So here we have the epiglottis, and then the hyoid bone, and then right here is the horn of the hyoid, and then this big area is the thyroid cartilage, and the middle part is the cricoid cartilage, and then the bottom is the tracheal cartilage, and then over here we have the thyroid gland. And then on the inside, the top fold is the vestibular fold, which is also false, and then the bottom fold is the vocal fold, and that's the true fold.
There are 5 steps in the functional organization of digestion. 1 is ingestion, 2 is mechanical digestion, 3 is chemical/enzymatic digestion, 4 is absorption, and 5 is excretion. The first 3 happen in the oral cavity: ingestion, mechanical digestion, and enzymatic digestion. two happen in the small intestines, enzymatic digestion and absorption of nutrients, and in the pancreas happens secretion of digestive enzymes.